The bravest thing I ever did wasn't actually leaving, it was smiling at the person who broke me because my children were watching me and watching my face to know if they're still safe. That was me, standing at the doorway. And if that resonates with you, thank you for joining me today. I am Olga Binyaminov, Healing and Empowerment Coach, and this is something that would change for you. Standing at the doorway with my hands shaking and my voice steady, handing my children to the person who had shattered my entire world. And I was still smiling because those girls were watching me. They were looking at my face to find out if they're allowed to feel safe, if they're allowed to love the person who walked away from me and now walking towards them. So I swallowed the entire ocean and I said, "Have fun, girls." And then I fell apart in the car where they couldn't see it. Because you can be broken in the car and still being calm at that door. That is not fake. That's love. And if you know that doorway, that's that exact impossible split of screaming inside and steady outside, then this is for you. Because today I want to talk about gently, with a lot of care, about the hardest thing you may ever do, and that's co parenting with the wound still opened. And if you're a father standing in the same doorway, swallowing the same ocean as I did, so your kids feel safe, this is for you as well. So let's name it out loud with love. Because almost every hurting parent does the same version of whatever I'm going to mention without actually meaning any harm. When the wound is open, your child becomes the closest thread back to the person who hurt you. And quietly, they start carrying things they were never meant to carry. They become our messengers. Tell your father this. Did she have anyone else there? The little faces are very shocked with the situation. And when they come home happy because their joy over there feels like betrayal over here back at home. None of that makes you a bad parent. It makes you a wounded parent. But a child now used as a messenger, as a spy, as a witness to something they shouldn't be carrying. Your child is now witnessing this carrying of a war between you and your ex. And when a child is used as a messenger, it's a child who carries that war inside of their small bags. Your child should never have to translate between the two people they love the most. Their only job is to be a kid. Your fierce, holy work is to keep the war above their heads so it never lands on their shoulders. And I know that's hard. And now let me free you of that lie that you can co-parent without co-signing. People will tell you that co-parenting well is possible. And for this to be possible, you have to forgive, be friends, get over it, play happy. And when you can't do that, you feel like you're failing. So let me tell you, you're not failing. You have two completely separate jobs, and you must never confuse them. Job number one is your healing, privately, sacred, yours. You are allowed to still be angry. You are allowed to still be shattered. Job two is your co parenting. Brief boundaries built entirely around your child's peace. You don't have to heal your feeling, and you don't have to hide those feelings for yourself. But it's about them. And in order for you to protect your child from these feelings, you have to create healthy boundaries. So, no, you don't have to forgive them to co parent well. You only have to keep your child out of that war that they actually didn't start. This is the boundary that you need to learn. It's not a forced friendship. Keep it short, keep it about logistics. You can be polite at the doorway and still be broken in the car afterwards. The compressor isn't a lie. That way that you're showing is not a lie. It's a gift that you're handing your child, wrapped in your own resistance. So now I want to talk about this whole situation, about a woman, about that woman who been nodding through this whole thing with tears in her eyes. To you that is watching, because I just described her Tuesday. And here's what I know about you, because I was you. You're not just tired from the school runs and the schedules. You are tired from holding a wound opened with both hands while you actually keep everyone else in this world from falling apart. And somewhere quiet, late at night, you're scared that this is just your life now, bleeding every doorway forever, never fully trusting again, never quite feeling like yourself. But you were never broken beyond repair, and you were never meant to be, to do this alone. I need you to hear that from someone who actually stood exactly where you're standing right now. I'm not a therapist that reads from textbooks. I'm a woman who walked out of that fire and built an entire life on the other side of it. And now I walk beside women just like you while they do the same. Not with advice, with a witness, a hand to hold, and a map, a roadmap that I wish someone had handed me at that worst doorway of my life. And that's the whole lesson. That's the whole reason that I do this work, because I had my lesson. And if something resonates with you right now, and if you went through this and you're saying, I'm so tired of doing this alone, that's not a weakness. And you're not weak for thinking that. That's the first honest step towards becoming yourself again. So right now, write down in your comments that you choose your child peace over your own vindication. Again and again. Claim who you are becoming. Type one word, steady. Not because it doesn't hurt, but because your child deserves one parent who's steady and is ready to stand even though it feels so difficult. And then, if you're ready to stop bleeding quietly by yourself and ready to just have someone walk you through this pain, message me. I'm here for you, and I'll be so happy to walk you through this. Because you don't have to figure it all out. You just have to be tired enough of carrying it alone, and I'll take it from there. Come back next Wednesday, because boundaries with your kids and your ex has its own kind of love. Boundaries are important, and we're going to talk about those boundaries, because without boundaries, your whole world feels like it's collapsing. So I'm here for you. Heal deeply, live boldly, because you are unbreakable. I will see you again next Wednesday. Thank you for joining me today.